Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, this is Wei. I'm not sure if the stream has successfully started though. Cool. Is the stream started? Nice. Hello, Ghostweb. Cool. Yeah, it's always amazing to see that there are actual viewers of the stream. So let's get started, right? This is day two. We're going to have the core separation or of the OpenLive3D rewrite today, right? Let's have a brief recap for what had happened yesterday, right? So yesterday, we pretty much go through uh, the uh, the structure, the current structure of the code, right? So this is the nice, nice, nice. Yeah, it's because uh, the stream setup is actually a lot more difficult than I thought. I never do streaming before yesterday, right? So this is actually the second day that I start streaming. Sometimes things will go wrong, but it's good to know that things are doing okay. And yes, the current structure, the current block diagram that we're looking at is the block diagram that uh, we were able to actually inventory and sort out yesterday. And this is the current structure. And today, what we would like to do is core separation. For the recap, let's check some of the features that we listed. So these are the features that we listed and also we prioritize. As we can see, core separation will be the first thing that we do. And then after the core separation, we will majorly be able to check for today and also tomorrow, be able to check with the web version, with the website version. And for the Electron, we also like to check, and we would like to separate the Electron UI from our web. With the core separation, it should also be easier. And then we will have a single thread option, which we'll also need to consider that today while doing the core separation. For body capture, another option that I would like to add, and then we'll start doing the integration we'll check the API for other third-party blend shape, and we'll start the integration or have a capability to do the integration. And we will then try to add the shaders. With these finished, we'll probably only have the very basic shader option. So, but anyway, with these finished, we'll check the mobile support and see if we can further improve our GUI. And this is the timeline that we set for this week. For week one, what we were going to do: core separation, Electron UI, single thread. For week two, maybe even week three, uh, we will see. I haven't set the date yet. And let's just start today's core separation code. Right. So what we are going to do, from what I think what we're going to do is that we will have to list down uh, a separation plane, right, first. So let's go through a separation plane. From what I think, yes. So from what I think, okay, I actually opened another layer that you cannot see, but when I start typing, I think you will be able to see. Right, so plane. Good. Let me change the color. Plane. Nice. Make it a little bit larger. Wonderful. Okay. So here we have our plane, right? So the plane for the separation, I think the first thing that we will have to do is to define controller interface, right? Because we're still going to have a controller, and this controller is going to be able to call this core, right? The controller will be still within the Electron or within the website, and this controller will be able to call the core to sending frames to get blend shape movement. That is the idea, right? So we have to define the controller interface first, and for the video capture, I think that can be separated from the core as well. So we will not include that in the core because we could potentially have different video capture option. Is that true? That is tricky because if we're using third party, we don't need video capture, right? Okay, let's worry about that the controller interface later when we start doing the controller interface. And after controller interface, the next thing that we would have to do will probably be yeah, let's just like GitHub repo establishment. Yeah, probably don't need to worry about this too much. So GitHub repo establishment and submodule setup. Right, so we know that after the GitHub repo is established, we can set up the submodule. And after these two, what's the next step? After these two, next step will be copy and paste. We'll copy the current code and pass to the new repo and see if that will work, right? So after copy and paste, test initial separation. And after testing initial separation, we will list detail code check and modification listing. And after the code check and modification listing, let's make it smaller. Okay. After detail code check and modification listing, we will adjust the code. Final test. Adjust the code and final test. Right. So I think this is a reasonable plan. Does it make sense? I think it makes sense though. So good. So let's start doing the development of this one. Wonderful. Cool. So let's start doing the development. So let's open the OpenLive3D github.io. So this github.io is basically the web code, right? So we all know that. And what we would like to separate is within the src JavaScript landmark and also control, right? So while defining, we know from yesterday, we know that we would like to have the arm magic and also interpolator also inside the core as well. So let me open terminal and let me create a new folder. Let's call it OL3D. Let's code it OL3D core. Should I put it here? Should I have a dot? Oh, okay, there are so many naming questions that I have. Anyway, let's just put it here, OL3D core. So if there are anyone watching, you can see that the folder is created, OL3D core here. And we would like to make this OL3D core as a sub as the core in the code, right? So before that, let's define what we will need to pass down the parameters in the controller. So to pass down the parameters in the controller, what we will need will probably be okay. Let's create a temporary markdown first. Okay. Let me change. Wait. Okay. Let me think how we could tackle this better. Okay. Let's create a new branch. New branch code OL3D, OpenLive3D V2. Okay. So now we're in OpenLive3D V2 code version. And with this, I think we can be more flexible of what we're doing. The first thing that I would like to do first is to, inside this controller, we have the README. And let's just add some of the target that we would like to do in the rewrite. Rewrite. So in the rewrite, the idea is that we are going to be able to simplify the integration, right? So target. Okay, so we know that we're going to simplify the integration, and then our magic interpolator should be in the core. Core separation, large magic interpolator should be in the core. And basic integration should be init and okay. Okay, so we know that we have init and loop. That's all we know, right? But what I'm currently thinking, why I pause is because I am thinking that we might not need. I'm thinking that we might not need we might need to make it more complicated. All right. Another thing that I would like to do right now is to maybe change the color to red. It might be more visible. I think, yeah, I think this is our copy and paste. Code check and this modification. Okay. Okay. Just make it a little bit prettier, and let's get back to. All right. The thing that I'm currently thinking right now is that inside the loop, we need to have we need to separate the code even further, right? So without separation, it will always be this ugly, and we will want to have remember that we want to have the third-party integration, right? So this need to be taken into consideration. So with third-party integration, we know that camera plus core plus ML will be handled already with third party, right? So camera and machine learning is just a part of the integration. So what I'm thinking currently is that we need to have another module that we can directly retrieve motion. And this module will include the camera control and also the machine learning control. Does it make sense? So the machine learning control will be tied together with the camera control. But we don't need to make the we don't need to combine the camera control inside the core as well. So for the electron separation, it means that we will have to have the ML. We will only need to consider the ML part and also the interpolation part and motion part, right? So there is a state that we will have to keep inside the ML, which is the current motion and previous motion that we will need for the interpolation. I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense. And then for after that, we know that there are several part of the motion modification that we need to do, or blanching modification that we will need to do. One is the part that we directly capture from the video, from the image frame. One is that we need to consider the current status of the or the previous status of the model movement. So we need to make it smooth. This is the second part. And then there is a third part that we need to consider what is the set mood and what is the other settings that the user set to the current model, which we will probably not need to consider because even for third-party integration, they will also get the same limitation like what we do. So we're pretty much trying to be an independent integration that can be integrated just like a third-party integration. Three. Okay. This make the interface more complicated than I thought it would be. Okay, anyway. So inside the loop, after capture motion, or I use obtain motion. Okay, obtain motion, and then move 3D model. Right. So that should be it. Inside this controller, it should be very simple. Obtain motion from somewhere with third-party integration. That's one way. And with the core, alright, so with core we'll need camera. With third party we don't need camera. Third party already covered the camera and ML part, right? So with core we'll need camera. How do we make it? Should we write the camera code inside the core as well, given that this is what needs to be done? And we can also share the camera capture code from our Electron code together with the ML code, right? I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this make it interesting. This is making it interesting. And the camera settings is in the initialization and also configuration, right? And okay, another thing that config change by user, right? So these are things that could happen in the loop. Inside init, we know that there is a config init. There is a model init, ML init. There is a 3D model init. Right, these are the things that we need to do. Camera init. Camera init. 3D sim init. Right. So these are the things that we know because in the initialization we have three things that we check. Right. So these are the things that we always have to take care of. Camera, machine learning model, and the 3D sim. But what we are saying, okay. For especially for the web purpose, I don't think we are able to separate the camera from the. I don't think we should integrate the camera inside the core as well, because the camera control is tightly binding with the browser, and we will need the permission from the user to enable the camera capture, right? So I think we should still send frame to the ML part, which this is tricky. Yeah, because if you are using a PC without a webcam and you want to use your phone to capture your facial expression and use your phone, which means that your camera in your PC will never be enabled because you don't even have a camera. Right? So that is just obvious for third party. So maybe we should combine camera integration and ML integration into motion capture. Init. Then how do we help the user to directly select? If they don't have a webcam and they want to select their phone, I don't get it. If the Okay, the third-party integration will be a very tricky part. That's why I didn't do it right away when we have a discussion. And yeah, it's actually quite tricky when we're rethinking about the structure of the code. Uh, because the camera binding is so integrated with the browser. If we don't need it for the third party, but how do we make sure that that is initiated if we're using the native machine learning approach that we're going to do? It basically means that it basically means that we either have to have different website pages for user that is using. Wait, do we need to consider that? Because only when the user is using Electron will the user be able to do third-party integration, right? And we would like to separate the UI for browser-based and also Electron-based as well. Right, okay. So that is not as critical as I thought it would be, but we still need to consider it somehow, which is good, which is good. So when we're doing initialization, there should have some option. For the Electron part, maybe we can help the user, let the user do more selection, let the user select more options in the settings before they started the program, which makes sense. So it means that that is great. That is great. Okay, so when the user do more selection, there can be a quick setup third-party integration for motion capture option. And if the user click into quick setup, they will still load the camera, still load the ML initialization. That's good. And for third-party motion capture in on Electron, the user can select more options. Okay. Sounds reasonable to me. In that case, camera can be binded together with the ML core. Okay, let's do it this way though. Have the camera body with the ML core got several benefits, right? The first benefit is that we are able to test it separately as a core, right? The core can be completely tested separately and even have their its own UI that is not even VTuber, right? So we are just sending in we're just opening the camera and test it. Yeah, we're opening a camera, test it with the ML model, get the landmark result, and then turn that into blend shape. and we can have a visualized testing process with the camera integration support already there. And I think that will be quite beneficial for our development. So let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Which means for the loop and also for the initialization, we will just have configuration init, motion capture init, and then 3D sim init. So these were the three sims that we'll need to initialize. The configuration init is actually not in the checklist because this is like by default very easy. And motion capture init and 3D sim init will be the only two things that we check in the future. And for the website, I think we will still have the three checklists provided, so that we actually make sure the user open their camera. So we will provide two different check. For browser, okay, so we will just provide one check function, and this check function will return all the checklists, and that makes sense. That makes sense, right? So this function will return all the checklists that I need to check, and when the list goes to 0, it basically means that everything has been checked, right? So that okay, that make a lot of sense, and let's just do it this way. And another part of it, I think is pretty clear. For the loop part, we will just obtain motion from a motion controller or something. This motion controller will keep running the camera. The camera will keep running frame by frame. I think this is independent from the loop as well. We send that to the machine learning model. The machine learning model will have a queue for all the frame that it calculated, and then try to extract movement from there. And another problem will be single thread, right? So parallel computation will make sense when that is multi-thread. When it's single thread, we basically will like to update the motion every single time when we calculated a frame. And single thread option should only be enabled when the user is using facial landmark detector, right? Because it doesn't make sense when we try to run the holistic model, which is 4 times as complicated as facial landmark computation, and while trying to run the single thread, because that will be extremely laggy. So, obtain motion. Okay, so the difficult part obtain motion. If that is not multi-threaded, and we update the frame, update the blend shape without multi-thread, using the only like parallel processing in JavaScript, which is always there. Will that work? Huh. Or that would be stuck in the 3D sim. Okay, that could possibly work. That could possibly work. When you try to get a frame of the motion, you will capture a frame from the video and then send that video frame, which is an image, to the machine learning model, get the motion back, and then use the motion for your 3D model. Okay, that sounds reasonable to me. The process sounds reasonable to me, even for a single thread computation, which is good. I think we pretty much fulfill all the requirements that we need in terms of architecture, right? Let's check it again. Okay, let's check together then. Okay, let's check. We need, in terms of use case, we need to be able to have single thread. Good. We need to be able to support Electron and the web. I think it's good. Full body capture, that basically means holistic, and we will not need to support single thread for that full body capture, which we can worry about that later. And full body capture will probably need to change the UI, but that is UI, and we worry about that after everything is finished. And we need to be able to integrate with third-party blend shape API, which we spend a lot of time talking about. Shader, lighting effect, different problems. Mobile support, which is the single thread options that we want. And with this single thread option, we would like to check if mobile support can be possible. And I think with the previous discussion, we figured that there should be able to get the single thread option going. Right. Okay. I think we should be good. Uh, the reason why I'm spending so much time here is because, like, every time before you start coding anything, you have to make sure that the requirement is correct, right? So this is basically the most important part. And yes, and that's good that we sort this out, and that is wonderful. Cool. So after these are pretty much considered, let's have these core separation on the. Let's have these in the note as well, right? So define controller interfaces. That will be too much. Okay, let's summarize what that happened, right? So camera goes together with ML. Plus ML. Camera plus ML, ARM magic interpolator. Interpolator, camera plus ML. Interpolator, camera plus ML, and what else? I think that's it. Right. Okay. So let's start the coding then. The next part will be, let's create a GitHub submodule, and let's go ahead and do the GitHub submodule setup. Right, you might not be able to see this, but you just need to know that I'm setting up the code on GitHub. Let's code it. OpenLive3D.core. Nice. The core of the MO plus the motion capture part of OpenLive3D. Public Apache 2. Okay. Okay. Great. Okay. Now we have the code. Now let's clone this repository. Okay. So the repository is currently cloned, and inside the code we should be able to see that there is something called OpenLive3D core. However, I don't like the name. So let's just modify the folder name OpenLive3D core to OL3D core. OL3DC. That should be good. Okay, so OL3DC. Inside OL3DC, we know that we already have an Apache 2 license, but that is just a license, and we right now need to move our code into it. Right. Let me check the submodule setup. Okay, okay. I think we might need to... Okay, let me check. Git submodule. Add. Will that work? Okay, this actually work. Can we rename it? I really want to rename it though. Alright, let's not worry about renaming, because it could be problematic for our code, but okay. Can we rename folder? Rename submodule folder. Okay, okay. So we can rename it. Grid MV OpenLive3D core OPL OpenLive3D core. Okay. So do we successfully renamed it? Let's see. Okay, we have a Git here. That's a good sign. So we should be set and done with this one. So inside OpenLive3D core, let's create some files. The first file that we would like to create, of course, is a core, is a README file. So let's have the readme.md, which is always necessary. I actually purchased the Sublime, but it always jump up. Live 3D core. Inside the core, we will have ML computation, ML modules. Okay. The core will have these modules: camera control, ML, module, okay, motion conversion, motion conversion. Okay, let's just name it motion conversion, and also interpolator. Interpolator is very much necessary. Whatever, whether we're using single thread or multi-thread. So this is good. And other than that, anything else that I need to be aware of? Okay. Other than that, I think we are good. Interpolator. I think we need a thread control. The reason why we need thread control is because we want to support single thread as well. And if that is single thread, we need a different way to obtain motion. So we need single thread control. That makes sense. Okay. So major function. Exported functions. Exported functions get blend shape. Makes sense, right? Get blend shape. Okay, I think it makes sense. I think we should have the exported class defined, and the class will be OpenLive3D core. The class will be OL3D core, and we will have the function get blend shape. This will be init with config and update with config. A get blend shape is an empty function. Do we need any input to get the blend shape? Do we need any input to get the blend shape? I don't think so. Okay, let's just keep it empty currently. Any other functions that we want to export? Any other class that we want to export? Okay. I cannot think of one currently, which is good. Which is good. That just keep it as it is for now. Let's see. Let's see. Cool. Let's start coding then. The next step will be copy and paste, right? So let's just start doing copy and paste and see how things can do. Right, remember we have the arm magic interpolator. Okay, let me open up folders. I think it should be faster. Okay, git OpenLive3D IO src JS control interpolator magic arm. Let me open up a temp folder for the movement. That is a interesting fact. Okay, so what we will need to do here is that based on our discussion, we have camera control, we have MO modules, we have motion conversion, we have interpolator, we have thread control. And is that how we will like to separate our code? I think let's do it like this first, right? So let me create a folder structure. Camera, MO, okay, camera, MO, converter, interpolator, and thread control. Is this just a major controller? I think thread control is basically the major controller, right? Thread control manager. Okay, let's separate it into these 5. Camera, converter, interpolator, manager, and ML. And let's copy the files into it, right? So we know inside converter we have arm magic. This is 1. Inside the interpolator we have interpolator. Obvious. inside, and then for landmark, inside the converter, we also have face key, hand key, pose key. And in the ML, we got more difficult. We have a landmark manager. We might need to rename it after, but let's keep it this way. And also, we have the camera control, right? So we have the media manager. Great, wonderful, fantastic. And with this, we could potentially still start to check. So let me actually start to do a testing. With our index. Right, so I already copy OR code. Yeah, this is a spaghetti as well. Okay, I already copy OR code into the OL3D C. And from what we see here, OL3D C src JS media. Should we have a JS? Nah, I don't. Okay, we will not need CSS in that JS file, so let's just not include the JS as well. Camera, great, media manager. Should we call it camera or media? Camera is more obvious. Okay, camera. Okay. Multi-language GUI. Face key, hand key, pose key. Okay. So for face key, we called it converter. Converter. And the landmark manager will be ML. And model manager is a VRM controller and ARM magic, and also and the interpolator is the interpolator, and ARM magic will be controller, will be converter. However, this will not work. This will not work because for the machine learning part, if we recall the architecture that we have, we know that the machine learning part is actually also having workers here, right, in the face mesh and also holistic, which we need to figure a way to put it into the core as well. So that's interesting. That's an interesting part. How do we put it into core and make it still runnable? Okay, let's just test it like this. It could work, because we're still trying to get the outermost folders in the GitHub IO. So let's start testing this with the local setup. And I opened it in the local port, and then we open up a website and see if this actually work. Okay, we got an error. Push info is not defined in Control Manager 530. Okay. Let me also have this set up here. Let me add a new Windows capture. Yes. And for a new Windows capture, let's capture the local host. Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, let's keep it somewhere here. And yeah, we'll see. Great. Let's continue the debugging part. We know that this is actually bugged. We're getting a lot of error. Push info not defined. Controller manager 530. So let's go into control manager. The control manager is here. 530. Push info. It's not defined. One match. What the fuck? Yeah, so we got this arrow so that you know how messy the code is. Push info. Okay. Where is that? Push info. It's trying to push the information to the temp information, so I'm guessing that should be in the interpolator. Yes, it's inside interpolator. And this function, why is it not defined? It should be defined before it, right? Interpolator, interpolator JS. So this is defined here. Why is it not getting the function? Oh, okay. So this is extremely ugly, I know. But why is it not getting the defined function? It should get a defined function. Okay, OL3D RSRCJ. Okay, JS. JS. That is the reason. That is probably the reason. Okay, let's refresh the screen. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Is it working? Okay. Okay, seems like this is kind of like working. That's good, that's good, that's good. Okay, so copy and paste, finished. Uh, is it copy and paste finished? Okay, let's just mark it as finished right now. So we have copy and paste. Cross. Okay. So these are finished item. And yeah, the codes just completely overlapped with one another. Make it this white then. Good. And the next one, test initial separation, finished, good. Next one, code check list modification. Yeah. Let's check it as detail code check. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Let's start a detail code check then. First of all, we know that the controller is actually trying to get a lot of different functions from this ML loop running slow, improve performance by face only. Okay, that's good. Face only mode. Okay, so we know that the uh yeah, so we know that yeah, let's have everything set up to face only then. Okay. Okay. I think it is obvious that uh that the code is just not very optimized. From what we just saw inside control manager, we have a push info that directly try to push the information into uh, the interpolator, which means these should be inside the interpolator, right? And the reason why this should be inside the interpolator is that we have to have a manager that is here, that we currently don't have any file. Right, so we need to create a new file here. So let's create a new file called manager.js. Alright, just put it manager.js. I don't think the naming is good, but whatever. Right, manage the ML uh, camera. Okay, that is tricky. Manage the initialization of camera. ML. That's it, right? Manage the initialization of camera and ML, and okay, let's put it here. Manage camera ML. Manage the thread. Right, so we know that they have to do thread control 3 conduct, conversion and interpolation. And 4, return motion. Good. So this is what our manager will need to do. Do I have any check mark? That's good. Okay. So this is what we will need to do for our manager, right? So a lot of the code will have to be copied from the controller, it seems. Right? A lot of the code will have to copy from controller. That just make a lot of sense. Let's see what we will have to do. Oh my. These should all probably need to do a lot of separation. Yeah. Yeah, all of these codes. Yeah, these are. Yeah. How do we possibly hmm. This is so difficult. Okay. Let's still try to make it work. Okay. Still try to make it work. Okay. So on holistic result. Okay, these should also okay. So these should be inside the manager as well. Pack face holistic. Yes, these should be inside the manager. These should be inside the manager. And draw landmark POI. Key point. Okay, left hand, pack hand holistic, pack hand holistic. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to understand my code here. I haven't touched it for a few months. Okay, pack handle holistic. Okay. On hand landmark result. Here we're trying already on the key point to move our hand. We're trying to move our hand already. So we don't need to worry about that. On post landmark result. Here. On face landmark result. Post landmark result. No hand landmark result. On hand landmark result. What the fuck? Update mouse temp info. Okay, temp info. Okay. I think I am getting somewhere. Push info, draw POI, Why do I need to write a code like this? Okay, I kind of understand it now. Interpolator, push info, what will happen? Motion blur ratio, and then we'll try to do motion blur interpolation with other. And when there is a push, there is a get. Get info. Okay, get info. Let's see where the get info is. Get info. Update, update body, update position, update brief, update mood. Good. Update mood, no info. What the fuck? Mood not equals to mood. Mood set mood and then set update mood equals to, okay, so this is the user control mood. This is the user control mood. This is not the actual blend shape. That is good information. But body position brief. So because from what I know, from what I understand, whenever we obtain an information from our whenever we obtain the ML information from our basically ML result, we will try to move our face already. And this is quite an interesting concept that we actually have two different kind of delay. One is the delay of our body, and one is the delay of our facial expression. And interestingly, I try to separate this out so that the facial expression reaction is a lot more faster. Right? So we know that the face movement is a lot faster. Right, so that's just okay. Let's close this because I'm not running anything right now. Oh shit. Okay. And yeah, let's close that window capture. Okay. So let's get back to where we were. We know that we're having two different kinds of delay. One is the face delay, one is the body delay. And we have these two delay, and we are trying to make them updated as some of them updated as fast as possible. Right, so update mouth and eyes. This is what we'll need to check. Where is this? On landmark, on face landmark result, right? So this is where we update our mouth and eyes. Whenever we got a machine learning result, we try to update our mouth and eyes, which is actually probably a bad idea, right? So the reason why this is probably a bad idea is because we want. Okay, there are two different reasons why this is a bad idea. The first reason is that the code is just too messy. This is not maintainable with two different structure. One is the body structure, one is the facial landmark structure. The second reason why this is bad is because if your machine learning result is having quite a worse frame rate, which it will happen, our machine learning result sometimes just doesn't keep up with the render. And normally it's just half of the frame rate of the render, right? So if you are running, for example, 30 frames per second for your model update, the machine learning result maybe only runs at about 15 frames per second. And when you are having 120 frame rate, which I was able to achieve with a far better computer, far better laptop, the machine learning result is only running at 60 frames per second. And whenever we get a machine learning result, we update the facial expression. Basically means that there will be 2 frames in your face expression without any changing, right? Without changing anything. Yes. This is basically what happened. For example, if you're having a like 30 frame per second 3D model movement update, and you have 15 frame per second or 10 frame per second machine learning result, 3 frame inside the video will have exactly the same facial expression. So although this keep the facial expression updated faster whenever we get a new result, we updated it. This is not keeping up with the frame of the entire movement. So what we could do is that we actually set 2 different types of setting parameters, and whenever we try to update the model, we will still get the parameters that will try to get the movement without any interpolation even. So although I just described the problem that updating the model like this or updating the movement like this uh, might not be able to get the up-to-date facial expression movement. But when we actually have a decent enough 3D rendering frame rate, and we keep updating the queue with a different delay threshold compared to the body and the pose, this can be a better solution. So we separate this function out. Okay, so this is something that we definitely need to separate out. And this is something that is so ugly. oh, oh, no. Uh, oh. Oh, no. Yeah, this is so ugly. And we also check the mood here. Yeah. uh, this is so fucking ugly. How can I get it more beautiful then? Is there a way that I can get it more beautiful? Oh, yeah, this is just maximum ugliness. No. Thinking about rewriting everything is just so bizarre. Oh, damn it. Shh. Okay. Okay. Anyway, we have to try to rewrite it. We have to try to rewrite it, and let's just keep everything going. Okay. Okay. Low. Let's go through the. Okay, we don't need a light, we don't need a theme, we don't need a clock. Do we? Let's check the clock. So, where do we use a clock? We update it with brief, and brief is a part of our brief frequency of our position. So, position should be part of our Should position be part of our blend shape? No. Okay, position don't need to be part of our blend shape. And in the visualization loop, we're trying to update our VRM, which is a 3D model, with a clock. That is fantastic. And clock, 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 clock. And good, we don't need clock as well. And this is our VRM. And with our VRM, we're trying to check our bone, we're trying to check our shape, and we. Okay, this is okay. A very tricky part is that we're trying to make changes to our model, right? We know it. And do we try? Do we actually check our 3D model before we decided on any of our movement rotation? If that happened, it would be extremely messy, and if that happened, it will be very hard for us to do whatever. Okay. This one we can calculate it anyway. It shouldn't affect us. And check VRM mode, browse up. But we can still calculate this even if we don't have a browse up setting. Yeah, we can still calculate this without the browse up setting. Okay, no browse up. Yeah, we can still calculate this. That's not the problem. BAL font, BAL so BAL anchor. And we actually have that change here. Oh, absolute ABS auto. Okay. Set value. So we can calculate. Okay, so these are our blend shape, right? Happy threshold equals to 1 for eyes. Do we use it anywhere? We do use it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Ah. Oh. Oh no, how can we separate these? These are non-separable. Okay, we fucking. Oh. Okay. Yeah, heavy facial eyes, heavy facial for eyes. Yeah, I know these. These are preventing our eyes to be overlapping with different threshold. And there's E ratio. What the fuck is this? E ratio equals to REO, right eye openness. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's just calculation. And yeah, have to reduce the threshold, and then there's a squint ratio. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Happy threshold. Auto. Okay, so the configuration define. Yes, the configuration defines, and yeah. Okay. Okay. First of all, we know these are the mood movement. Uh, okay, whenever there's a mood update, we know that we will need to update those, and in the update mouth and eyes, we have these. Mouse ratio, extremely simple and easy. This is great, wonderful, fantastic. Eyebrows should be fine enough. Should be fine enough. Uh, Mood update with the auto motion detection. Fuck it, should work. Uh, okay. I think I'm still on track somehow. We just need to update this function, right? So this function have to be updated. Like somehow, some way. We need to update this function first. We need to update the how we're currently changing the mouse, the eyes and mouse, and with a delay, and with a shift. Okay. Update info, get info, update body, update position, update breathe, update mood. Export rotation. What is this? Okay, this is the function that we allow the user to download things, right? Kind of, yes. This is the part where we allow the users to download things. Mood control. Um, Mood control can be managed by the should mood control be managed by the controller? Should they? Probably not. Okay, so mood control also get into manager. Export expression. Okay, this is the export expression part. On face landmark result. Okay, this is where we know that we have to update. On position landmark result, also we know we have to update that. And okay, this all of these are tricky because of the temp info. Holy shit. How and why did I write things like this? Temp info. Extremely, extremely problematic approach. Can I actually finish this? Okay. Yeah, I should make them functional in the beginning, and now it's just too late. I should make it. I should probably make it functional. It's too late. Alright, so the problem is that we have the set here. We have ch current humanoid. And this is a let, right? Okay, it's extremely reasonable for it to be a let. Okay, let's try. Let's try to make it work. And don't be afraid to make mistake, right? So let's try to make it work. Don't be afraid to make mistake. And here, let's see. Okay, that's it. Let's try. Okay, let's see. First of all, our test bench, yes, is still up there. Yeah, it's still moving. Okay. Let's try. Let's make it. Temp info is our target. Everything under temp info should be moved to that. Try to change temp info should be moved to manager. Everything under temp info should be moved to manager, which means let's see this onWalker result. What the heck is this? OnWalker result. Okay, this is the evaluation. And we only have 2. What? Okay. Okay, so and what about correct meta? Holistic result, correct meta. Okay. 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 Yeah. I remember that we also have this metadata checking, so we can make sure that the ping pong is correct. That the Yeah, the metadata will probably also need to go into manager. And that will be shitty. Shit. Yeah, metadata is also here. It's also that. And we will probably need to have the metadata here. Meta. We also need to have the metadata here. Metadata for. Okay, yeah. How can it work in this way though? It's all mixed together. It's like extremely, like everything is tied together. Oh, fuck. Everything is tied together. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Key, metadata key. Yeah, everything is tied together. Oh. Why am I not using functions? Okay, time, metadata, key, metadata. Okay. It's still. We can still save this. We can still save this. Uh, okay, we can still save this. We can still save this. Okay. And we try to change the metadata usage to get meta time and get meta key. Yes, get meta key. Get meta key and get meta key. Wonderful. Okay. So with this, we can move these functions into meta. Okay, and also metadata. You are moved to here as well. Okay, still ugly. I'm not saying that getting any prettier, but somewhere it is. SRC equals to OL3DC. SRC. This will be manager. And we are having meta.js for the script. Nice. And we test if this can actually somehow work. Let's see. Oh. Let's see the test. Is it working? It's working. Okay, okay, okay. One separation down, one separation down, one separation finished. Wonderful, great. Get back to work. Okay, one separation finished. We separate the metadata, which is awesome. Fantastic. Now we need to separate the manager, which is currently empty. And for manager, we know that this is going to be a treat. Okay, we know. And initialization camera, initialization model. Let's take care of the data. Ratio, radius limit, ratio limit. Okay, okay. Okay. Set values. Ba 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 ba. Update mouth and eyes. Okay. Update mouth and eyes. Update body. We took care of these later. And let's see if we can actually change update mouth and eyes to somewhere else. Wonderful. Update mouth and eyes into visualization loop. Update info. Okay. Can we move it here? You will have a problem though, because for get info, do we have this included? We are not able to get it because get info is here. Okay, so get info. Do we try to update every single thing? Yes. Okay, we are not updating anything because we should be updating that in push info. When we're getting a new information, we check if the array time info is larger than equals to 2, if else. Okay, so we're interpolating every single thing. Where did we calculate the key? Array time information push. Weighted average. Smooth information. Okay. Yeah, I know we are having smooth information. Array time info, smooth info, new info. Okay. And when we try to get, we will get the last time, last info, current time, current info. And current time info, where is it? See, current time. Do we updated it? Do we updated it anywhere? Get info. Okay, we didn't actually update it that, but we have it. Okay. 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 See your information, create information, create info. Okay, 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 okay. Okay. Hmm. From the code I'm seeing, if we are having a push info for new information every time we're trying to push to the array, we're trying to push to the latest array. Equals to trying to push to the latest array, and okay, that's we have to understand this interpolation and how it works, right? So let me spend some time trying to understand everything. Okay. Curation weighted average. What the fuck, man? Current time information equals to some weighted average. Okay, these I understand. If time, that's time. If what does it mean? Okay, if we're past delay, okay, if we're past delay, we'll just use the latest time, latest machine learning result. Okay, that make sense. That seem to make sense. If we already passed the result, we will try to use the latest result. Okay. 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 Mhm. Mhm. So with this in mind, let me first of all do a very ugly version. That's info. Okay. Get this info and this is get smooth info, right? Smooth info and less info. And less info, let's make it here. And the less info will be basically no interpolation version, which will be uh, let's create a new function called get less info. Eh? We have a get latest info. What is that? What the heck is that? Okay, I don't know what the heck is this. I probably write get latest info somewhere. Hopefully not. Do we? Okay, I don't think we have this. That's great. Okay, so get latest info will means we will not need momentum. We will only need less info. And we will try to get if our array is larger than or equals to 1, which means we got something to return, we will return, in this case, we will return our array of information. Right, and we know that sometimes it can be 0, which means we will have to use the length -1 to always return the latest info. And we will just return the info. Yes. Other than that, we will return this. Wonderful. This is what we need. Yes, I think so. Okay, 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 okay. Seems to be reasonable. Yep, seems to be reasonable. If we have this, we just have the L info and S info separated, and we have pretty much update mouth and eyes. Also inside update info, which is fantastic. And we only need to know if there are any temp info that is under anything that we are trying to check the VRM file. Temp info, if any information, okay, temp info. These are great. CH, this is bad. This is bad. Yeah, this is bad. Sometimes I just don't know how to fix it. Because this is such a mess. Oh no. Oh no. It's such a mess. Okay. Anyway, let's keep going, keep trying. And we know that this CH is trying to do the CH set, right? And we also have the rotation set here. Okay, let's focus on the temp info. Here we're trying to get the temp info. Why? We're setting keys. Get hand then mark result. And are we setting keys? Are we setting keys? Pre-ratio, pre-spread. Why are we using temp info here? Holy shit. What the fuck? Ah, what? Okay, we're setting. We are setting temp key. That I can understand. Okay, yeah. This is how we're having the two-layer interpolation. I understand. But what is this? What the fuck is this? Doesn't mean. Oh no, doesn't mean that we actually. Doesn't mean that we change the finger without delay. Oh no. Is it? Shit. Okay, settings. Let's save the settings so that it's actually easier. Do we change the finger without delay? It seems like we change the finger without delay. Why? Why do we change the finger without delay? Doesn't make no sense. Okay. Or do we modify it twice? Update info, update body. Do we update body, head, neck, chest? That's it. Yes. Okay. So we do actually update our hand without delay also. That is so bad. Oh my goodness. That is so fucking bad. Oh. Oh no. That is so fucking bad. How can we solve this? Oh my goodness. Okay, let's try. Let's try to separate. Let's try. Hand info. No. Hand info. Ah. no. Shit. Update brief, update position, update body, update mouth, eyes. If having hand info, okay, we have to check this one. If we have hand information, we'll try to update this one. Also, inside okay, if we have, we also try to update this one. If we don't have a hand, we don't need to update them. But do we actually fix them? Okay. Okay. Okay, we have to still try. We have to still try. Seems like that is called keys, and let's call the keys then. Left or right? I think we should have be able to move it with left or right hand. Is there a hand tracker? I think we do have that in our converter, right? We don't. I think we should have that somewhere. Probably also inside this. This is so fucking stupid. Okay. pre-rate. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, that's just and let's see if we can change it, check it with the update mouth in. This is just very bad. Thanks, Ghostweb. Yeah, this is just very bad, the code. So we're trying to make it work, and yeah, it's just a mess of spaghetti. Yeah, okay. Update mood, update mouth. Okay. Will this even work? Will this even work? Let's see. Do we have other variables that we pass from the previous tracker? No. And object update temp info change to keys. Spread. Finger rate keys. Finger. Okay, that's test if this even work uh, in our testing. Reload everything. Okay. Machine learning model loaded, and then let's check the hand. Does it work? It work. Oh my goodness, this actually work. Okay. Okay. Uh okay, huge relief. Okay. Nice. At least we have one separation from the hand though. So that is good to know. Okay. Update hand then mark result. We should probably organize the function better, but yeah, let's do it later. And node hand then mark result. We should also separate these. Since the unhanded mark result is successful, we could potentially also separate these as well. Let me think. I think what we could do is to just, yeah, I think what we could do is just remove this part. Does it work? Let's see. I think it should, right? Temp info. I think it should work just like this. Let's see. Reload the code and do the testing. Okay. Hands are working, movement working, eyes working. and hand working. And when my hand is gone, the hand is set to default position again, and hand rotate, still work. Okay, still works, still seems to work, still seems to work. Still seem to work. That's great, that's great. Let's remove the hand again. Okay. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, so with these separation done, finished, we should have the temp info only inside functions that will not check the VRM model. Thanks. Achievement unlock. Yes. I thought this is just not achievable. I thought it's like all tied together. Yeah, so yeah, achievement unlock. Yes. And let's see. Okay. Okay, these are no ratio. Yes, yes, yes. Temp info, temp info. Temp hand info. Get default hand info. What the fuck is this function? Where did I define hand key? Did I define it here? Holy moly. How can I live with this this typo? Okay, okay. Did this typo break anything? It shouldn't, right? This okay, 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 and enable hand. Enable hand. Hand up. Hand rotate. Okay. Good. Hand down. Hand reset. Okay. Good. Seems fine. Seems fine. Let's reset it. Okay. So now, fix the typo. Check again for temp info. Temp info, temp info. Alright, nice. Okay, let's try. Let's try to move temp info. This is going to be very risky, and I'm guessing that will break a lot of things. But let's just make it break. This is not a. Oh. Okay. Okay. Temp info in manager. And then on holistic result. On holistic result. On holistic result, the problem is why do we have our visual FPS check in the queue here in the on holistic result? Why do we have this here? Make no sense. Shit. Okay. Let's not move this yet. Okay. We know we can move this. Yes. On face landmark result. Good. Move it here. Do we need anything? Get SR, get key type. I think these are all. I think these are all inside other function, right? Great, wonderful. Okay, next one. Tab info, no hand landmark result, which is okay. The next one, on hand landmark result, which is good. Put it here. And then we remove this function. Keep these parameters here. And forget about this one. On post landmark result. Good. On hand, on face. Okay. And okay. And that's it. That's it. Is that so? Can we make it happen? Okay, let's try to see if things will work. And after that, we will try to change this like on worker and on holistic inside the manager as well. But before that, let's see. Wait a second. Manager, and inside here we need to update this to manager. Let's go. Error uncaught finger rate. Control manager. Finger rate. What? Finger rate. We do have this. Yeah, we should have this here. Identifier finger rates had already been declared. Oh, eh? But there are. Initialize is not defined. What the fuck? Okay, finger rate here. Do we need finger rate here? We don't. Do we need spread rate here? We don't. Do we need finger segment? We don't. And of course song segment as well. Ratio. We don't use it. And swing. We don't use. Okay, that's good. And hand tracker. We use it here. Do we have it here? We do. We do. That is bad. And we use it a lot. That is extra bad. Okay. But does it work? It work. Oh no. Okay. Hands up. Hands up, hands up. Okay. Yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, let's go back. It shouldn't work. At least shouldn't work like this. Okay, anyway. Update body. Why is it here though? Oh yeah, update body should be here. That makes sense. But update body, why does it need a hand tracker? Because you need to set the default hand. Or do we need to set the default hand? Because we should set default hand when we get no hand, right? No hand result. Get default hand info. We should set the default hand, even if we get no hand. Let's just check if we remove these 4 lines. Will it make any difference? Okay, let's check. Let's see. Okay. I'll try to wrap things up in 30 minutes. Okay, we have hands, and then we don't have hands. Will they reset? Will the hand reset? Will my hand reset? Will my hand reset? it actually doesn't reset. Why? Why doesn't it reset? It should reset though. It should. Uh, it should reset, right? Okay, let me check. No hand Denmark result. No hand Denmark result. No hand Denmark result. And we basically just put in we basically just put in default. That is so fucking tricky. It doesn't make sense that we still check our hand. Fuck, man. Okay. It is what it is. Nah, I don't fucking care anymore. Okay, it worked. Anyway, let's continue. Cool. And although it's unexpected that is actually still changing the hand, if we don't track any hand and we in our code at least seem to set it as default hand already. But somehow the shoulder is still tracking, and I just keep it this way. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! These are not the hand. These are the wrist and shoulders. Yeah. That make more sense. Okay. Yeah. Even if you don't track the hands, you can still track the arms. Although it's quite ugly that the hand is sometimes look very freaky. But okay, that makes sense. Alright. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Let's keep it this way. So given these, we try to have all the update inside update, and that's fine. And now what we would like to do is that we are trying to have unholistic result and okay, update, yeah. Yes, unworker result and unholistic result. Be put inside there. And the difficult part is we had the FPS queue check here. How come and why? Why? Why do we have FPS queue check in here? This means that okay, at this the 3D FPS queue should never be here. That this queue being here makes 0 sense. 0 sense. And let's check. Oh, I get it. And why I get why. And that is so sad. Oh no. Uh, I know it's going to be a pain though. I know I know the rewrite is going to be a pain in the beginning. I know it's going to be a pain. But it is so painful. Okay, okay. That's understand what let's understand what why things are like this and what went wrong. Why things are like this is because here we're not checking FPS actually in this code. What we're doing is actually we're trying to gather the information for our debug or for our monitoring purpose, right? So if we open our monitoring layout in the parameters, in general we have FPS, in phase we have the only moving parts, in pose, since we're using facial only model, there's no pose, no hands, and an extra for exporting, right? So yes. So for this parameters, we're updating it whenever we updated our 3D model. No, whenever we run our machine learning, which means if our machine learning is slow, we're not going to update our parameters as frequently as our visualization. Okay, uh, this is a reasonable approach, though. the The reason why I'm saying that this is reasonable is because we uh yeah, the reason why this is reasonable is because we have this. The visualization update is actually a lot faster than the machine learning update, right? So using the machine learning update to basically update the parameters will keep the information in the reasonable frame rate, right? So if the parameters is updating too fast, we're not able to see the numbers. However, however, this is still so bad. We shouldn't do it this way. I have to think of a new way to do this. I have to. Okay, so let's call it a day. Let's call it a day today. And for tomorrow, we can still continue to figure things out to how to fix everything, how to make it work. And yeah, let's call it a day today. I think I still got some appointment after now. And yes, thanks for everyone who tuned in. Although I still only see Ghostweb who actually commented on the chat. Thanks, Ghostweb. You are the biggest supporter of this project right now. And yeah, let's call it a day and see you tomorrow then. See you tomorrow. We'll try to fix everything. Not everything. We'll try to have at least have this part, and this have the like this buggy part fixed. Wonderful. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.